I sent my parents $700 every Monday at 9 a.m. without fail. It was my quiet way to keep things peaceful, a performance suggesting we were still a family unit. But last week, they missed my daughter Lily's birthday entirely. No card, no call, nothing. When I asked my father why, his response was cold and firm. "Your child means nothing to us." I could not breathe for a second. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I just picked up my phone, trembling, and started deleting their payments one by one. 40 minutes after that call, my phone buzzed. That text changed everything. For 8 months straight, my Mondays followed the same routine. Coffee, tired eyes, and a $700 transfer to my mother and father precisely at 9:00 a.m. It wasn't love driving this. It was routine, perhaps guilt, maybe the faint hope that if I kept giving money, they would finally see me as family again, not as the daughter who let them down. After working my night shifts, I would sit at the kitchen table with my computer. Lily's artwork was stuck to the wall near the bills. I would enter the same figures weekly, then stare at the confirmation screen blinking like a heartbeat. I could not stop. Payment sent. My mother never said thank you. My father never brought it up. But when their car broke down, I covered the mechanic's bill. If their electricity was late, I paid it before they even asked. This wasn't charity. This was staying afloat. Keeping them quiet kept the peace. Lily, of course, did not get it. She thought her grandparents lived far away, not just 30 minutes down the road. "Will they attend my dance recital?" she'd ask, spinning in her sparkly skirt. I would force a smile, swallow the truth, and say, "Maybe next time, sweetheart." She nodded, trusting me. Kids always trust. I used to trust too. I believed parents eventually relax their stances, that stubbornness fades, and that love finds a way back. I even pictured them sitting at my table, holding Lily's hands, telling her stories about when I was her age. But every time I spoke to my mother, I knew how far gone things were. She spoke to me like I was an employee, never a daughter. Her voice was always clipped and direct. "Make sure you add the groceries this week. Your father needs his cholesterol pills refilled." Some evenings, I'd hear Lily talking to her dolls, giving them names like Grandma and Grandpa, making them hug and share pretend cookies. Watching her made my chest hurt. She was creating the family she wanted. So when her birthday arrived, I went all out. Streamers, balloons, lemonade. I even bought a cheap bouncy house secondhand. She twirled in her pink dress, hair braided like Elsa, cheeks red with excitement. "Do you think they will come this time, Mommy?" she asked, peering through the fence as people arrived. I hesitated, smiling artificially. "Maybe, baby, let's wait a bit longer." But I already knew. By 3:00 p.m., the candles had melted into puddles and the lemonade was warm. The yard smelled like sugar, but the happy noises faded. Lily kept looking toward the front gate, her sticky fingers catching sunlight on her dress hem. Every few minutes she'd ask again, softer each time, "Mommy, are Nana and Grandpa almost here?" I smiled the way mothers do when they are breaking inside. "Maybe, honey, maybe traffic is bad." There was no traffic, no call, no reason given, just quiet. I kept the party going even after the last guest left. Lily sat on the porch steps with a cupcake, her sparkly shoes dangling. She stared at the road as if Faith could drive up and park there. When the sun set, she whispered, "Maybe they forgot." I knelt beside her, pushing hair off her face. "Maybe," I said, trying not to feel my throat tighten. "But we still had fun, right?" She nodded, sleepy now. That night, after I tucked her in, I scrolled through photos of her smiling with friends. Every picture felt like proof I had tried. Then I saw it, Mom's text from that morning. "Tell Lily happy birthday from us," that was it. I stared at the screen for a long time, then I called them, I don't know why, maybe for an answer or a lie that sounded like love. Dad answered. His voice was sharp, annoyed. "What do you need, Clara? Why weren't you here today?" A pause, a heavy sigh filled with scorn. "We didn't feel like going." "Dad," I said quietly. Lily was waiting, she made a card. Another silence, then the sentence that split my world in two. "Your child means nothing to us." For a moment, I heard only the refrigerator humming and my own blood pounding. I went cold before my brain caught up. "What did you just say?" He did not repeat it. He simply hung up. I sat there, phone still pressed to my ear, looking at the blank wall. Not crying, not shouting, just stuck. Lily's drawings fluttered on the fridge, little hearts and stick figures smiling in a place that wasn't real. My hands began to shake. I put the phone down on the counter and whispered to no one, "Okay." The silence was heavier than grief. I walked to Lily's room. She was asleep, her hair messy, her cheek pink from the day. I knelt down and kissed her forehead. "You are everything," I whispered, "even if they cannot see it." Back in the kitchen, I saw the clock. 9:07 p.m., the usual time to check weekly payments. The habit was automatic. My thumb hovered over the app before I stopped myself. Not tonight. I poured the leftover lemonade into the sink, wiped the counter clean, and stood in the stillness, knowing that tonight marked a permanent change for me. I didn't sleep. I sat at the kitchen table, watching the clock tick past midnight, replaying his words, "Your child means nothing to us." They didn't just repeat, they carved into me. Every syllable felt like a cut I kept touching. The phone stayed on the counter. My faint reflection shimmered on the dark glass. Messy hair, swollen eyes, a version of myself I barely recognized. I reached for it, intending to end something, not to call them. For years, I paid to keep the peace. Every Monday at 9:00 a.m., I paid for non-existent forgiveness with guilt. I opened my banking app. My hands shook as I looked through the recurring transfers. Rent, food, utilities, insurance. My name was next to theirs on every line. I stared at the list, then started canceling them one by one, cutting those puppet strings. Click, cancel, confirm. My heart rate normalized with each tap. The trembling eased. When I reached the final entry, the automatic $700 deposit every Monday, I felt strangely calm. I canceled it. 8 months of habit disappeared instantly. The room was quiet. The fridge hummed. The pipes made noise. Then my phone buzzed, a text from Mom. "Can you order us takeout, just Chinese or something? We have no food." I looked at it. 40 minutes. That is how long it took them to realize I was gone. 40 minutes after they dismissed my daughter with one sentence, they wanted Chinese food. My thumb hovered. I could have typed anything, a warning, a goodbye. I did not. I locked the phone and turned it over. Instead, I went to Lily's room. She was breathing softly, curled up, clutching the stuffed rabbit she named Patches. I sat on the edge of her bed, brushing hair off her forehead. "Never again," I whispered, confirming it for myself. That was when the guilt died. I realized I owed them nothing. No money, no explanation, no more peace. My silence was enough. It was louder than any fight could be. When I stood up, the air felt thin. The weight on my chest lifted for the first time in years. I turned off the hallway lamp and watched the house darken, a clean, final dark. Some betrayals don't need a battle. They need a proper funeral. That night, I buried the part of myself that thought family always meant love. The morning after that call, sunlight hit the kitchen table as if nothing had changed. But I still heard his voice. "Your child means nothing to us." It was beneath every sound, even the fridge hum. Lily was still sleeping. I made coffee just to hold something. The phone rang. Unknown number. I almost skipped it. "Ms. Hayes, this is Mr. Davies, your parents' landlord. I need to check in. The rent didn't come through, which is unusual for you." Unusual for me, the word stung. "It's not my problem anymore," I said. "They must handle it." He paused. "They told me you managed their bills." "I used to." My tone surprised even me, flat, steady. "Not anymore." When I hung up, something clicked like a cord snapping. I was no longer their safety net. I was just a person drinking cold coffee in my own home. At 10:00 a.m., my brother Ethan called. "Clara, Mom says you've lost your mind." I laughed softly. "Define lost." "She said you're cutting them off." "I am." Ethan went quiet for a bit. "Good, I'm done too." I blinked. "What?" "I've been sending them money," he admitted. "Not as much as you, a few hundred a month for groceries or gas. Little things I thought if we both helped, they might change." "They never told me," I whispered. "They never told me about you either," he said. "I guess we were both paying for the same guilt." I dropped into a chair, holding the mug. "So they lied to both of us." "Yeah, but this time we stopped." His voice broke slightly. "You did the right thing, Clara." Before I could answer, another alert lit up my phone, a Facebook tag, a live stream replay titled "The Truth About Our Daughter." My stomach turned. "Oh no, don't watch it," Ethan warned quickly. But I already was. The preview showed my mother holding a tissue dramatically, my father beside her, arms crossed. Mom sniffled. "We have always supported Clara through every difficulty, but she has made up lies, claiming we refuse to acknowledge her child." "None of that is true." Dad leaned toward the camera. "She has been forcing money on us for years. She needs help." I didn't look away. I watched numbly until the moment I knew was coming. My father picked up a printed photo of Lily in her pink dress and said the same words again, this time to the whole world. "This child does not exist to us." I froze. Lily's laughter from the park, her hands clapping at the candles, flickered in my mind. I closed the video feed, unable to watch more. In under an hour, messages flooded in. "Are you seeing this? Is that your dad?" Comments stacked up under the video, some sympathetic, some judging. "Who says that about a 6-year-old? She probably deserved it. Praying for their souls. If this is real, it's awful." I turned my phone off. The house felt too silent, like even the air refused to move. Later that afternoon, Ethan texted, "Do not post anything. Let them deal with their own words." I followed his advice. Silence. I was learning that silence could be much louder than anger. By nightfall, the video was all over our small town. Their church friends shared it with prayer emojis. Others commented, "What kind of grandparents say that?" The tide was turning without me doing anything. Within an hour after the live stream ended, messages started flooding in. "Are you watching this? Is that really your dad?" Comments piled up under the video, some offered sympathy, others were judgmental. "Who speaks like that about a 6-year-old? She probably deserved it." Praying for their empathy. If this is true, it's repulsive. I shut my phone off. The house felt too quiet, as if the air itself wouldn't move. Later that afternoon, Ethan texted, "Don't post anything back. Let them choke on their own words." I listened to him. Silence. I was learning that silence can speak louder than anger. By the evening, the video had spread across our small community. People from their church shared it using prayer hand emojis. Others commented, "What kind of grandparents disown a grandchild?" The momentum shifted without me lifting a single finger. The following morning, Mr. Davies texted again. "They have been given a 30-day notice to vacate. I apologize that it came to this." I did not reply. I didn't need to. Justice, for once, was swift and effective. 2 days later, my cousin Lauren called me, her voice shaking with fury. "They are at the family reunion, can you believe that?" I frowned. "They were not invited." "They showed up anyway, trying to win sympathy." Lauren cut me off. "You might want to check Facebook later." Then she disconnected. An hour later, I checked. The video was already gaining traction. Someone was sharing shaky, handheld footage from their phone. A sunny backyard, picnic tables, plastic cups everywhere. My mother was speaking near the center to a group of relatives, pleading, "Regardless of what Clara told you, she admitted we love her. And that poor child, she is confused." Lauren's voice cut through sharply. "Before or after you told everyone her kid doesn't exist?" The camera pivoted toward her. She held up her phone, blasting the sound. From the tiny speaker came my father's voice, unmistakable. "Your child means nothing to us." Gasps went through the crowd, a collective inhale. My mother stopped speaking immediately. My father's face went pale. The entire yard fell silent, except for a distant lawnmower buzzing somewhere. Then Uncle David stood up slowly. His voice was calm but firm. "If that is how you treat your granddaughter, you do not belong here." No one argued his point. No one went to comfort them. They walked away wordlessly, faces white, eyes downcast. The camera turned back to Lauren. Someone muttered, "Good for her." Another voice added, "It was about time." I watched the clip 3 times. Then I placed the phone down and laughed, a quiet, shaky laugh coming from deep within my chest. It wasn't cruel, just relief. Ethan called that evening. "You saw it." "I did," I confirmed. "They embarrassed themselves publicly," he stated. "Finally they did," I agreed softly. "And I didn't have to lift a finger." "Sometimes the truth handles itself," he murmured. That night I sat by Lily's bed while she slept, her hand clutching her bunny. For the first time in many months, my chest did not hurt. I listened to the light sound of rain hitting the window glass. I thought about every Monday morning I wasted paying for a love that never materialized. I opened my laptop, not to send money, but to view the history of transfers. 8 months of payments, line after line confirmed. I scrolled to the bottom and whispered, "No more." The next morning, the headlines in our small town's Facebook community page were harsh. Church couple exposed for disowning grandchild. Someone had spliced together both videos, the live stream and the footage from the family gathering. The comments were unforgiving, hypocrisy at its worst. You cannot simply erase your own blood. That poor little girl. By midday, their church removed all their photos from the website. The landlord changed the locks on their rental unit. Their few remaining supporters went silent. I didn't post anything about it. I didn't celebrate the downfall. I simply took Lily to the park again. She drew stars on the pavement and said, "Mommy, this star is for Uncle Ethan." The air smelled like rain and chalk dust. She laughed, and the sound was so pure it felt almost painful. When we returned home, I found an envelope in the mailbox. It was cream-colored paper, and my name was neatly written on the front. Inside was a short note from Aunt Carol. "They chose arrogance over love. You chose your child. That is what family is meant to look like." I folded the note and placed it in a drawer. Some victories do not need applause. That evening, as I tucked Lily into bed, she yawned. "Mommy, can Nana and Grandpa come next year?" I hesitated briefly. "No, sweetie, they won't be visiting anymore." She nodded thoughtfully. "That's okay, we can invite Uncle Ethan instead." I smiled, brushing hair from her cheek. "Yes, honey, that sounds perfect." When I flipped off the light, the room was quiet, but this time it was not empty. It was peaceful, a peace that had been earned. The following week, everything felt quieter, like the world had finally let out a long breath. The constant notifications, the messages, the surrounding noise, it all faded into a low background hum. My parents had disappeared online. Their profiles were completely erased. Their church released a short statement about family healing, but everyone understood the reality. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt free. The kind of freedom that doesn't rush forward. It just sits calmly beside you in the morning sunlight, letting you breathe deeply. Lily was humming at the breakfast table, carefully spreading jelly on her toast, unaware of the massive storm that had finally cleared. Ethan stopped by that weekend with groceries and a genuine smile that reached his eyes. "You look lighter," he commented. "Maybe I am," I replied. We drove to Aunt Carol's house for Sunday lunch. Lemon pie was cooling on the counter. Sunlight streamed through the lace curtains. She hugged Lily first, then me. "Peace suits you well, Clara," she said. Over lunch, she spoke about boundaries, about how love lacking respect is nothing more than control. I listened. I truly listened. And for the first time, I believed what she said. Later, while Lily colored quietly at the table, Aunt Carol slipped an envelope into my hand. Inside was a single sentence, "For when you forget why you stopped." The sentence read, "Kindness coupled with strong boundaries is actual strength." That night, watching Lily sleep, I understood that the silence in our house no longer felt like a penalty. It felt like a shield. I stood at Lily's door, watching her chest rise and fall under the soft glow of her nightlight. For the first time in years, I wasn't dreading tomorrow. I didn't owe peace to anyone except us. My parents chose pride. I chose freedom. That choice, quiet, steady, and final, was the most powerful rebuttal I could ever deliver. If you have ever had to walk away just to safeguard your own peace, know that you are not isolated in that experience.